Hello people of the world, it is your girl Jalen the Alien, the Zodiac Queen, Baby J, whatever you want to call me. And you know, this is a really impromptu message, but I just felt it on my heart. I saw a lot of stuff on social media and it really triggered me, not in like a oh my god I'm triggered type of way, but it really had me thinking about the state of the world. And you know, I am an intuitive person, I'm a psychic person, I'm an astrologer, I'm an empath, I'm everything spiritual, right? That it really resonates with me on a deep level, being a part of that world. And sometimes when you're so into that world, it's like you forget that there's a whole other group of people that look at spiritual people like they're completely insane, complete nut job. When we start talking about rocks or crystals having energy and, you know, being able to get visions and stuff like that, for a person that hasn't awakened to their own inner power, it probably does seem crazy. And sometimes I find myself like, when I'm trying to explain these things to people that don't really understand that side of life and haven't tapped into that internal intelligence, you know, sometimes I'm like, yo, this sounds crazy, but this just happened. You know, it reminds me of like being the person in the movies where like something crazy and supernatural happens to them and they go try to run and tell all their friends about what happened and they're just looking at their friend like, yo bro, you're crazy, like what are you talking about? That's what being like a psychic, divine, mystical, whatever spiritual being in 2020 feels like. Some people are really not tapped in, and I hate to say that because I don't want to sound like, oh, spirituality is it, you know, getting in tune with yourself is it, but because I respect everyone's truth, but when we start being disrespectful, that's when I have a problem. And I just want to come here and remind you guys, to all the empaths, to all the psychics, to all the astrologers, to all the people that see things from an abstract perspective, the creatives, the people that are more sensitive, you're not crazy. As a matter of fact, you're gifted. Sometimes in this world we're going to feel crazy. We're going to feel misunderstood. We're going to feel like black sheep in our families. We're going to feel like our friends don't understand us. This journey, this spiritual journey is really, it's isolating sometimes. And it's hard to go through because it feels like nobody around you understands. But guess what, guys? I understand. I feel you, and know that you are not crazy. A lot of people, as soon as we started getting into 2020 and like the preparation, the couple months like before 2020, people started feeling this really intense energy. You know, some people will say, you know what, you know, it's just a thing, I'm having all this anxiety, blah, 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 and they don't really know why. But the people that are in tune with their spirit know that something is coming. There's some type of energetic shift that's happening. And if you've sensed into that and you feel that, this is the time to get in tune with your intuition. This is not the time to resist it and to reject yourself and to allow other people's opinions about what is true and what is not true get in the way of you getting in tune with your own divine intuition. If you feel like something is wrong, and I'm not talking about anxiety, I'm not talking about fear. There's a difference between fear and intuition. But if you genuinely think that something is not right, listen to that intuition because it will save your life. 2020 has a very intense, serious energy. And I never made a video talking about 2020's energy on my channel, but because I wanted to really process it. But I know for me, leading up to this year, I felt I had to do a lot of internal, deep shadow work. I had to really go down to the depths and really get down to that place in my life, in my soul, where I completely accepted every single part of myself, so much so that there's no room for fear anymore. I don't have fear. You have to release your fear at this point. I cannot stress it enough. Release all fear. Release fear of this epidemic that's happening. Release fear of death. Release fear of anything, of the spirit world. Let it go. Let it go. Because the more that you vibrate on that level of fear, the more that you're becoming an energetic match for things that you fear to happen to you. You gotta let it go. All my psychics, all my empaths, all my spiritual people, you have to let it go. All my astrologers, you have to let it go. Let go of fear. But at the same time, take heed to the information that is being sent to you, because a lot of you are going to be receiving messages, and those messages could save your life. Those messages could save the people's lives around you. I don't know what happened, because I think about how our ancestors, the ancient people, they used to listen to the women. They used to listen to the wise women in their villages, in their tribes. Our ancestors, they used to listen to the ancient ancestors, the people that were in tune with the divine, right? That was respected in society back in the day. That was respected, and Because I was so respected, it was sacred. There was space in the world for those people because people understood that they had power. They were able to channel messages from the divine. And because of that, they received prophetic messages that kept them alive. When attacks were about to come, what did those people in those tribes and villages listen to? Who did they listen to? They listened to the wise people. They listened to the people who were connected to their ancestors, the people that were connected to that ancient divine wisdom. But after centuries upon centuries of repression and suppression and conditioning, the societal conditioning has caused us to disrespect our own gifts, our own intuitive knowing, our own personal connection to the divine. That understanding and that information that we are all powerful, we are all creators. We have been conditioned to not see the power in that feminine energy, that divine feminine energy, that creative energy, that intuitive energy, that psychic energy, that abstract energy, that emotional energy. We were taught that that is not okay. If it doesn't make sense logically, then it's just stupid. We were raised to not listen to ourselves and our truth. But that is exactly what we need to do in the year of 2020. Release all your fears. Face your fears. Get in tune with your fears. Get in tune with your inner demons. Get in tune with your shadow side. Get in tune and meditate on anything that's holding you back from true ascension. That is what's going to help you in these times. You know, I'm an astrologer. I gotta talk astrology. That Saturn-Pluto conjunction on January 12th, 2020. That conjunction was the representation of the ushering in of a new paradigm. Saturn, the planet of limitation, hard life lessons, sickness, rules, authority, government, reality, in conjunction with Pluto, the planet of chaos, sudden events, death, rebirth, turbulence, intensity, the purging effect. Those two coming together at the beginning of a new decade, at the beginning of a new year, right after an eclipse, that represented a shift in society. It represented the shift into the new paradigm that we're about to enter into. People are going to be receiving their karma. Everyone. If you're not aligned on the right path that you truly were meant to be on in this life, your divine soul purpose, if you're not aligned with that, these are the type of energies that can destroy stuff so that you can be aligned with that. These energies don't play. This is not love and light shit. This is not, oh yeah, you know, it's going to gently push you in the right direction. If you are not walking the right way, these energies are going to snatch you up and put you there. And it might have to cause chaos to do so. And that is happening on a collective level. All of the events that happen, the deaths that have been happening, Australia being on fire, a potential world war, disease, illness, shutting down, quarantine. All of these things that are really challenging, these are representations of the purge. Pluto, that is plutonic energy. It is death, but there is also a rebirth process. That plutonic scorpionic energy is really asking our collective, and it's pushing our collective. It doesn't give a hell. Pushing our collective to transform. It is grabbing corruption by the balls and dragging it down to hell. So if there's going to be any time that you get in line with your inner truth, any time for you to get in line with your inner truth, your inner God, your inner goddess, your inner power, and to face yourself for who you really are, to face all parts of you, to face all your fears, this is the time. Jupiter in Capricorn, Saturn-Pluto conjunction, Saturn going into Aquarius. Times are changing. Okay, age of Aquarius is here. What I've been perceiving from Saturn and Aquarius, I see that, for example, a lot of us, due to the virus, we have to take classes online. School has been, canceled, and we're all learning stuff online. Aquarius is the internet, right? Because Aquarius represents that internet energy. Saturn is restriction and limitations. So look, we're in a time and space where everybody is kind of like forced to be at home, or at least to be on the internet, or like to connect with people and to learn information through the internet, right? So Saturn, we're like restricted to learning things only through Aquarius, which is that internet energy. It's almost like we're being forced to find new innovative ways to connect with each other due to unforeseen circumstances. I mean, look, we had the full moon of Virgo. Virgo represents health. Right at that point, you know, when we had that full moon of Virgo, it looked like everything was just getting worse and worse and worse, right? What is the moon? A full moon. Culmination. You know, it's when everything is like climaxing. So but that full moon always fades down. It always fades into blackness and the dark, and then it comes back out bright again, and it fades back into the dark. It comes out black. But I think that with Saturn and Aquarius, something that we all have to start tapping into is different ways to connect with others, because for some reason I feel like that internet or just some type of energy when it comes to groups of people is going to be like restricted. Whether that's restriction of the internet, whether that's restriction on how we communicate, or just how we get together and group, I feel like that's going to be changed around. It's like this level of detachment, right? that Aquarian brings, right? And also that alien energy, right? I feel like with Saturn going into Aquarius, I feel like we're definitely going to be making like accomplishments when it comes to space, or maybe just getting involved with aliens or space. Something like that's probably going to happen as well. This year is going to bring chaos, it's going to bring turmoil, and it's going to bring tests. You are going to be tested. Are you in tune with your power? Do you know where you come from? Are you in tune with your divine goddess power? This is the time to have faith. Do not fall into the trap of being so afraid and so fearful. Because if you do that, you're going to attract situations to you that are going to bring you more fear in your life. And these energies don't play games. This is not light energy. 2020 is single-handedly whipping our entire collective consciousness into shape. It is forcing us to face ourselves. The shadow. It is forcing us to get aligned with our soul purpose. It is forcing corruption to be dragged to death and out of the picture. Sometimes through destruction, you have to wipe everything out so that you can start to build again from a more solid foundation. Because if the foundation is not solid, then the entire country, the entire world will crumble. So that is what you're experiencing right now. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the purging process happen. You are a god. You are a goddess. You are a creator of your own life, okay? And you are connected to that energy 24/7. You are protected by your spirit guides, by your ancestors, by your angels, by whoever it is. That divine presence. You are protected. You are safe. Do not allow fear to creep in. Release it. Release it. Release it. I release all fear. I release all fear. I release all fear that is blocking me from ascension, okay? Sometimes you got to be the odd one out, and a lot of us are going to feel that way. You know, as people are laughing at us from receiving intuitive knowledge, or laughing at us from receiving visions. Do not fall for it. Don't second guess yourself. Trust yourself. And if you receive it one time, leave it at that. That was your message. If you know it's true in your heart, believe it. Forget all these outside opinions, even if it's your own family telling you that you're crazy. Every inventor was called crazy until they changed the world. And don't feel like you gotta like shove your truth down people's necks and have to, no, let me tell you about the truth. This is the truth. This is how it is. Because at the end of the day, if you're not energetically ready to receive that knowledge and to receive that truth, you're not gonna hear it. It's gonna go in one ear and out the other. But when you are ready to ascend and you're ready to grow, that's when people are gonna start coming to you and asking for that knowledge. You don't go to other people. You don't shove your truth down other people's throats. They're not going to hear it. Let the sleep remain sleep. I hate saying stuff like woke but just let the sleep remain sleep until it's time for them to wake up. Because you can't save everybody. You can't save everybody. You can't tell anybody information, because if somebody already has it in their mind, in their subconscious, that something is not true, something is stupid, something is crazy, if they have that deeply embedded in their subconscious and there's not a part of them that is open to receiving that messages, you trying to tell them something is wasting your time and your breath. You walk so good in your spirituality, you walk so good in your faith, you carry yourself like a god and goddess, and then you show people the life that you're going to live, and then you live by that. You are the walking proof. People will look at you and they will see that something is different. They will know that something is different. They will see that something is different. When you are walking in your spirit, people know. You don't got to say nothing. So like I said, all these people that are like, all the people in the comments that be like, astrology is fake, astrology is evil, or psychic messages and stuff, all those people are crazy. That's their loss, guys. Don't worry about it. Don't let that foolishness bring you down and hinder your self-esteem and allow you to block out your messages. No, because that's the test. And I have some tips for you guys. Make sure that you're strengthening your immune system, like elderberry, black seed oil, lots of natural supplements and stuff. Make sure you're getting a lot of vitamin C. Make sure you're getting the right amount of sleep so that your immune system can stay up. Make sure that you're keeping your vibrations high so that your immune system can stay up. Because if you vibe high, you're not going to be a match for that negativity. You're not going to be a match for disease because dis-ease. You are at ease. When you are at ease, there is no dis-ease. So you guys need to relax, calm down, heal your subconscious mind, heal your inner traumas, get in tune with that shadow side of yours as well, and focus on remaining aware. To be guided through this really crazy period that we're about to go to, you have to utilize your intuition. Lean into your gut feeling, no matter how you receive the messages, because we all receive them in different ways. Whether it's dreams, whether we like astrology, whether we see it in synchronicities, whether we hear it with our clairaudience, whether we feel it like our empaths or our clairsentience, whatever the case is, however you feel it, lean in onto it right now. It's time. Stuff is going to get real crazy. We all are going to be tried and tested in our own individual ways and on a collective level. And the best way that you maneuver through these really intense energies that are coming forward, which is with all the retrogrades, with all the Saturn and Pluto conjunctions, Saturn and Aquarius, all the Jupiter and Capricorn, everything, okay? Uranus and Taurus, financial ups and downs, okay? Everything. You gotta lean in on your connection to the divine. That connection to that higher knowledge, that connection to the universe that comes from going within. Silence, meditation, and being in a high vibration. That is what's going to get you through this. And also loving and accepting every single part of yourself. The good, the bad, the ugly, the terrible, the ferocious, the gross, the ugly, to the prettiest, beautiful, everything about you. You gotta accept it all and love it all and not be afraid to face yourself for who you truly are, and release all fear that you have on magic, of spirituality, everything that we have been taught to fear. We were taught to fear those things because if we have fear of those things, we are not in tune with our power. The more fear we have, the more powerless we feel, and that's convenient for the people in power. So you guys, lean into that intuition, y'all, period. All right, okay? And get your protection on. I got some tourmaline right on me at all times, right by my bed over there, okay? Get you some black tourmaline, black crystals. They are protective, okay? Make sure you're taking your spiritual baths that are cleansing as well as protective in nature. Make sure that you're saging your house. Make sure that you are saging yourself. And people that come into your house, if there's people that come into your house, make sure that you're, you sage right after, because not everybody's walking around with energy that you want. Make sure that you are cutting cords and doing all these important things. It's spiritual hygiene, guys. Spiritual hygiene is going to be key for the year 2020 because there's going to be a lot of emotions, a lot of feeling, a lot of resistance. But you got to cleanse that off so you can be able to be at your highest potential in this lifetime. This decade is about raising the entire collective's frequency. Guess what happens when either you're going to match that frequency or you're not. You cease to exist. I don't mean that to scare you guys. I'm just saying. And I also want you to look at the people that you're around. What type of people do you have around you? How do you feel when you're around these people? Do you feel good or do you feel bad? Do you feel like your energy is being drained? But one thing that I learned is if I cannot fall asleep around a person, like even though I could feel safe and comfortable, but for some reason my body doesn't allow me to go to sleep, I don't trust that person. Something about my spirit does not trust that person, because let me tell you, once I'm around people I trust and my spirit trusts them too, I go to sleep like a baby. That's where that intuition comes from, that introspection comes from. You got to go in there sometimes to be able to realize certain things about yourself so that you can be able to maneuver throughout this world correctly and safely. Not everybody's meant to be around you. Some people are agents. Some people just don't have good energy. Be focused. Be focused on yourself. Be focused on the things that you want to build this year. Be focused on your spiritual hygiene, and that is how you're going to see success in your life. Be focused on getting in tune with yourself at the deepest level, and it's not all about love and light. You got to get into that dark room sometimes, that darkness as well. And darkness is not a thing that's supposed to be evil and stuff like that. If you think that way, you got some work to do. And that's all I'm going to say on that. But it's Baby J, Jaylee Alien, And follow me on Instagram. I got some workshops and classes coming out, so it's gonna be lit. If you guys want to know more information about the stuff I shared within each video, but I felt called to just put that out there, you know, and just, I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video. Just receive it, y'all. If y'all feel me, like, comment down below. Period.